Hi guys, today I want to read a story to you. It's from Mark 5, verse 25 through 34. I'm going to read out of the NIV because I like the NIV best for stories. A large crowd was following and pressing around Jesus, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had. Yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak because she thought, if I touch his clothes, I will be healed. Immediately, her bleeding stopped and she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him and he turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" "You see the people crowding against you," the disciples answered, "and yet you can ask, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet, and trembling with fear, she told him the whole truth. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." Oh, the picture here of this woman, this poor woman who had been suffering for so many years. And the nature of her suffering, her bleeding, would have been contemptible, gross in this culture. She would have been disgusting, untouchable. And her last hope was Jesus Christ. And she came to him in the crowds. She reached out and she touched him. She was not supposed to be touching people, not in her condition. But she reached out and touched him. And the power went out from him and healed her. And then he turned to her and he said, "Daughter, your faith has healed you." Oh, she fell at his feet. She was so afraid because she thought, "I know I wasn't supposed to touch you. I wasn't supposed to make you unclean." But instead, he made her clean. Oh, it's such a beautiful story. I love this story. But you know what I love about this story also that we don't mention as often is the incredible beauty of Jesus' tenderness and love towards her. Gross, untouchable. He loved her. Have you ever thought about God's love for you? Do you believe in that? A few years ago, I wrote a love letter to myself from God. A love letter to myself from God. I took the verses in scripture where God talks about his incredible love for us, and I turned that into a letter that I can read to encourage myself and remind myself of his great love. I'm going to put some verses down in the notes of this video so that you can do the same thing. I encourage you to do that because when you feel gross, when you feel untouchable, you can remember his great love for you. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.